quilttoprail.com. You're watching Kathy Quilts Extras.
Hi, this is Lynn from Kathy Quilts. I need to visit with you for just a minute about some important things about the leaders and which direction the frame rails roll and orientation of the quilt frame. When you're in front of a quilt frame, standing the front is where the sewing machine needle is going to be the closest to you. When you want to stand in back of the frame, this is the table part of the start right frame, and so when you stand behind it, like you can see the patterns on there, they're going to be a lot easier to see when you stand in back of your frame rather than in the front. And usually you'll have a stylus that's attached there as well, and you can see that on this one we have our start right on there, but right now we have our juki off it just so that you can see things a little clearer. But the frame's set up with 3 different rails, and the one that you need to be concerned with first off is the take-up rail. And you can see right there the leader is printed and says take-up rail. So this is the rail that's going to be inside the arm of your sewing machine. When you quilt, as you progress further through your quilt, you'll be rolling this rail. So if you come over on this side, this is where the cog wheels are, and there's a cog wheel release thing. You can see you can push down on that, and you can lock it out by pushing that down and then pushing that lever in, and then it locks it down. And what that does, it makes it so it can roll without clicking. But if you want to have it so it'll ratchet, you can push down on that, pull that out, and then it'll click. So if you notice, this will click like that. So this is how you advance it, and as you're rolling your quilt up, your quilt needs to actually come underneath the rail like this, because if you have it winding over the top of the rail, then you had too steep of an angle like this, and then your sewing machine would skip stitches and it'd be messed up. So you got to always make sure that when you're rolling that it comes underneath the rail. But notice on this one, this rolls this direction, so it goes counterclockwise. Now if we come over to the quilt back rail, now this rail holds the back, and so that's why it says quilt back. So this is the one that's directly across from the take-up rail. Now this one also rolls counterclockwise. So as you roll it up, because your quilt is actually going to come from over the top of this rail, and then it's going to come over by the take-up rail. Now the last rail that we have is the quilt top rail, and that's this one down here, and we have that all kind of rolled up. That's got to be the biggest leader because it's the one that has to reach the farthest. And so if we pick this up, you can see right there it says quilt top. So this rail, if I step back a little bit, you can see this is the bottom rail. So that's the one. It's going to have to go up over the top of the quilt back rail. So let me grab the leader, and it comes up over this way. So when you have your quilt all pinned on, this one, the quilt back is going to be on the bottom, then you have your batting come over, and then you'll have your quilt top. It'll come like that, and so it has to reach this far so you'll be able to quilt all the way to the end of your quilt. This one is the only one that's a little bit different. It actually rolls clockwise. So if you see that, and watch how that ratchet moves up and down. If you notice, there's a little cog stop that is right here, and what that does is it keeps the teeth from going the opposite direction. So when you're tensioning your quilt, you just go like that, and then it'll tighten it up. So once again, we'll go over this. This rail always goes counterclockwise so that it can roll from underneath the frame rail like this. See, it's underneath. This one comes up over the top of this one, and then when you go to tension it, you just go like that. So once you have completed a row and you want to advance it, you can release this one and you push it in and pull this one up, push it in, and then those will roll freely, and then you just go like, leave that one engaged and you go as far as you need to the next section, and then when you're ready to tension these, then release this so that it goes like that, and then you'll tension that. So do your quilt back first, and just kind of make sure your batting is all smooth as well, and then tighten up your, release this one so that it'll engage, and then tighten that one up like that. And that's all you really need to know about tensioning and how your cog wheels should turn. Thanks.